What is going on, Drip DeFi family? I hope you're all having an amazing Sunday so far. I certainly am. We'll get on to that in a minute, but I can see there's already people in the chat. I did my very best today to put as much notice out as possible for the live stream. I did that last week and we had such a good turnout, so I thought I'll do my very best today to get as much notice as possible. So I hope 45 minutes works for you guys. I can see we've already got some people in the chat. We've got my brother Westside Ian in the chat. We've got AKA Cova, love that name. We've got IMO in the chat, absolute legends. You know what we normally do? We normally give about 5 minutes for some people to join the stream because, you know, I do tend to do these things a little bit late notice. So it's understandable. So a few people will join as we go. So for now, we're just going to sort of chill for a few minutes. Although we've already got people joining the chat already. This is probably record numbers, so it's great to have you guys with me. Whether you're returning, whether you're a regular viewer, or whether you're a new face, I welcome you here, and I just want to thank you for putting aside some of your Sunday to join me on this stream. It does mean a lot, and it is turning into a really cool place to hang out. You know, you guys are absolutely freaking awesome. And we've got Tony Morrow in the chat, we've got Dillbob in the chat, we've got WDRIP in the chat. We've got quite a few people joining, so maybe we won't have to leave it as long as normal. We've got LCM in the chat. How you doing, my brother? Hope you're well. Let's just give it a few more minutes. I've had such a mad day. I was absolutely intent on getting this live stream done today. It was one of those days today where it was like touch and go, but I thought if I put the notice out, I have to stick to it. And I'm going to be talking more about that sort of thing today as well as more drip and DeFi stuff. Very, very important stuff to be discussed this fine Sunday. So I'm presuming for a lot of you guys, it's Sunday morning. And for my European friends, it's going to be more sort of afternoon and evening. So it's kind of, what is it now? It's 5:30 here in the UK. And it's freezing cold. It's like 0 degrees outside. It's been kind of clear, it's been all right, but it's freezing, and I'm missing the beach and I'm missing the hot weather for sure. So that's next on my agenda. I think we've got record numbers of people joining us right now, so quickly. So if you're in, don't forget to hit the like button. It does help push the stream out to other people. On the algorithm loves it. And definitely drop in the chat that you're here. I'd love to know who I'm talking to, because from an outsider looking in, I'm just a guy sitting talking to himself. And I don't ever want to feel that way, although, you know, if that's what it has to be, it has to be. But it's good to know who I'm chatting to in the chat. And I want to open up the chat a little bit today as we go. I've got stuff I want to talk about. I did actually have a list. Sometimes I come prepared, and today was going to be one of those days. But the list has gone AWOL in the mayhem between dealing with Mr. Wookums, dealing with Millionz, who's teething, and getting all my stuff done that I needed to get done. I've lost my list, so I'm going to be sort of freestyling even more than usual. LCM said it's freezing in Texas. I mean, I've not been to Texas, it's on my list, but does it ever get freezing in Texas? Surely that's must be sarcastic from LCM. I don't believe it gets freezing in Texas. Is this just yeah, I can't believe that. We've got Roy Ian Lingington in the chat. Good evening from Roy, South Africa. Wow. So we have got people from all over the world joining us tonight. That's freaking awesome. Roy, thank you for joining us, brother. I do appreciate you tuning in. And as I was just saying, I want to open up the talk today because, you know, I get to know a lot about you guys, and you know, I try not to talk too much about myself in general, but if there's anything you want to ask me, within reason, keep it above the belt, keep it clean, feel free to drop it in the chat. Now, I don't care whether it's about crypto, whether it's about my life, my experience, my opinion on stuff. Just drop it in the chat and I'll get to the comment at some point as we go. So we've already got really good numbers tuning in, so I think we should probably get started properly. Although sometimes this is the most fun bit. It's just kicking back and having a Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning natter with some good friends. So I've got my green tea in a very polka dotty cup. It's not actually my cup, it's Mrs. Millionz' cup. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. But it's got a green tea, I've got my coconut water on hand, and I've got a ton of stuff I want to talk to you guys about. So let me just check the chat one more time before we start. LCM said yes, it's winter time. So apparently it does get cold in Texas. Actually, LCM, funny enough, I've been looking at some properties in Texas recently. Now this is only very initial steps. Not, you know, I'm not getting ahead of myself too much. But some of the properties I've seen around Houston, now tell me if I'm wrong, like I don't know, I don't know the area, so I would have to go and visit it, but they look absolutely phenomenal. And what you can get here in the UK equivalent, it would blow your freaking mind. In fact, I'll probably do a tweet about it later in the week. To see what you can get in the UK for, let's say, £400,000, or for the equivalent of let's say $400,000 worth in the UK, to what you can get in Texas. You can get like a 4 or 5 bedroom detached house in Texas with tons of land. In the UK right now, in London, you could probably get maybe a 2-bed terrace house with a very small overall footprint. So I am looking at Texas as well. I'm looking at a few other places in the UK as well, and abroad, because as you guys know, I'm a big fan of, you know, plan Bs and plan Cs and all that, and maybe we'll have a little chat about that later on as well. We've got Headbuster 716 yo here from Georgia. Thank you for joining. It's an absolute blessing to have you here, brother. And have I missed anyone out? AK Covert making jerky whilst watching. That's awesome, man. That's very, very cool. I do like jerky, but I've never made it. I only buy it from the supermarket. So that's freaking awesome. What do you have to do? Do you have to just sort of is it something to do with salt, like preserve it in salt or something? Drop that in the chat, because I'm interested about that sort of stuff. 7 degrees in Indiana. Okay. Maybe I've been a bit harsh on the UK then. Maybe that's me being a little bit, you know, a bit harsh. But yeah, it's been kind of 0 degrees to maybe -2 here, and it sounds as though you're not exactly baking it up there either. But I've got friends in Mexico right now who are having a fantastic time, who keep sending me photos and videos from their beautiful, you know, residences near the beach, and all the sunsets. The weather looks incredible out there, so I'm going to be heading back out there as soon as possible. Let's put it that way. Freezing in Chicago, yeah, I can believe that. Absolutely. My knowledge, I've not massively travelled America. I've travelled extensively, but not extensively in America. So it's on my list. If you've got any recommendations, drop them in the chat. Got number 1R8. Hey brother, nice to see you, brother. Absolutely, thanks for joining the chat. So I did want to just start with, I've just been tagged in a post over on Twitter, and I think that's really cool that I'm getting tagged in this stuff. Like, I'm getting sort of so early notifications about some stuff. That's really awesome, from the PDRIP team. And apparently the WDRIP aggregator has just been launched, like literally in the last hour or so. So I haven't had any time to look into that yet. I've been so busy. But from what I can gather, you're going to be able to sort of swap between BNB, DRIP and WDRIP at the best possible rates. That's kind of what it says at the top. Like, it's going to save people loads of money in wrapping, and there's also like, it's fee free or something. I don't know enough about it to sort of go too much into it just yet, but I know it's just dropped, and they're just delivering. They're delivering. And what I love about the PDRIP team is that they're sort of under promising and over delivering, and that is exactly what DRIP needs, in my opinion. It needs devs out there, it needs teams out there that are gonna, you know, not dying off the hype too much, get the job done, get it out, and let the community decide. You know, if as long as the security and everything is hands down secure, then get it out there, you know, make it happen. And that's exactly what they're doing. So they've got the aggregator, and obviously I do have a tutorial dropping this week on something to do with WDRIP. I won't give it away just yet, but it's going to be hopefully helping a few people sort of get around from missing out on something. So that should be interesting. We've got Millionz in the house. Hello, happy cold Sunday from Tesla City, Vermont. So it's cold everywhere then, except, yeah, it's cold pretty much everywhere except my friends that keep sending me those pictures and videos from Mexico. But you know, they're just being smug down there right now. And is there anything else I've missed? So let me just have a quick sip of green tea. It's awesome to see so many people in the chat on this Sunday. And if you're just joining, I do really appreciate you taking some time out of your Sunday. I know everyone has stuff to do and everyone has commitments, and to have you guys taking a bit of time out to spend it with me and with each other on this chat is a real blessing. So I do thank you for that. And I do want to say that the channel's reaching almost 1,500 subscribers now. So my goal, which I always set goals, always, no matter what I do, I'm kind of, you know, not in a negative way, but I love to always have something to work towards so I get the best out of myself on things. And one of my goals was to, by the start of 2024, to have 1,000 subscribers, because why not? Why not? And at 1,500 almost, by the time that DRIP goes deflationary, or by the time the minting switched off, that would be pretty awesome. If I can get to 1,500 by then, that'd be another nice little goal, a milestone to hit. We've got NFA show in the house. We live. What time is it where you are, Nelly? It must be kind of stupid o'clock in the morning, because you guys are like ahead of us, aren't you? So you're maybe 8 hours ahead of the UK, and the guys in America are sort of 8 hours behind. I remember that time difference from my travels in the Philippines, and that's why I chat to Danny D Alakazul show about the Philippines sometimes. Very fond memories for me. That's where I proposed to my now wife, on a deserted island pretty much at sunset in the Philippines. Would love to go back there, and I remember it being like a crazy time difference. So very, very special place for me. NFA show, 4:42 a.m. Nelly is one of the biggest grinders out there. He works, and absolutely full respect. He's been on the DRIP focus for the whole time, never turned his back, hasn't changed his name, hasn't turned his back on the community. Absolute soldier. So big respect to Nelly in the NFA show. If you don't know him by the NFA show, that is Nelly. So let me just have a swig of green tea. Oh, I needed that. I really needed that. Mr. Wookums has been, he's fine now, but he did need another trip to the vet earlier in the week. He went out on a walk, sprinting around his usual self, and we got home and he was limping quite badly. And being that, obviously, Mr. Wookums, very important part of the family, we called up the emergency vet straight away. And probably a little bit premature, let's be honest. It probably, you know, we didn't need to do that. But Mrs. Millionz particularly was like, no, I'm calling the emergency vet. And we got him in. They looked him over, checked his neck, checked his spine and everything, and said, no, he's pretty much okay. It's probably just a sprain. And we got charged like £100 for the inconvenience, or the convenience, you could say, of that. So gave us some painkillers or whatever. He had like one dose, but the next day he was absolutely fine. So Mr. Wookums back on his feet, back in the game. We were going to do a walk and talk, I think just yesterday. I ended up doing a drive and talk instead, because he won't walk in the rain. And I was prepared to do the video in the rain, but we got to the sort of green space that we go to, and no, he absolutely dug his heels in. He will not walk in the rain, because that's how he was kind of, he never used to go out when he was a puppy, because the people that had him at the time just never socialised him. So unless the weather's good, Mr. Wookums ain't walking. So what else do we have? NFA show, I'm sipping English breakfast out of coffee. You should have thought ahead, Nelly. Got to keep that coffee on tap. I'm quite a decaf man myself, unless it's a training day, in which I'll have a pre-workout and get buzzing off my face. But I do love coffee, and that's why I have to have decaf in the house at least. You've got to think ahead, Nelly. Don't be running out of that stuff, especially the way you're grinding at 4 o'clock in the morning. You've got to have that coffee, brother. We've got Headbuster. We are going to have so many places to put our drip. Yes, we certainly are. We're seeing it come into fruition now. And, you know, I've been banging on a long time about there are a lot of devs holding back until drip turns deflationary. Then we're going to start seeing the magic happening. People are going to feel confident to build dApps. They're going to feel confident to put their products out on the market because they know that drip is going to be deflating, and everything they do is going to turn to gold. As long as it's secure, as long as, you know, the community are confident with it, it's going to do big things. And they're all holding back. And a perfect example of that is G Money has reappeared. As I said in my video yesterday, he's reappeared in the drip chat. No one knew where he'd gone. Had he been abducted by aliens? You know, was he lost at sea? No one knew. But he's reappeared, and he has his own dApp launching most likely on the 19th. So he's going to get some really good traction on that. I think it's a very good idea. If he lines it up for that special day, he's going to get so many people behind it, because people, even though not everyone is behind Forex, I think G Money pretty much has the support of everyone. So I'm sure whatever that is, it's going to be an absolutely fire dApp. I'm sure he's going to bring some serious utility. I think it's utilising wrapped drip, from what I remember. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that is. And the 19th is going to be a special day, and it's not for the fact that, you know, the minting is going to suddenly magically stop. And I think some people are a little bit kind of a misunderstanding a little bit. It's not going to just stop overnight. You know, it's going to continue, because there are still people that have checked out of crypto. There's still people that have checked out of drip and DeFi, you know, shamed and not feeling the red candles and not feeling the bear market. But they're going to come back. So we're seeing green candles, even though we've had a little bit of a roller coaster in crypto this week. They're seeing green candles, and they're going to come back, and they're going to start seeing their faucets. They're going to start seeing their drip sort of, you know, what's going on with drip? What do I do with it? And they're going to start maybe claiming. So that could happen at any time after the 19th. So there is still going to be a decent amount of minting going on after the 19th. But the fact is that so many big wallets are going to be totally out. They're going to be dead wallets. There's going to be a remarkable difference happening over the course of the coming weeks, and we're already seeing it. I've been on there today, and normally on a weekend we have the highest level of claims, and that's always been the case with drip in a bear market or a bull market. But we are seeing, I think, like 800,000 a day. I saw like 800,000 yesterday. We are seeing a distinct slowing down of the minting, and it's a very, very good sign. It's a great thing to see. The price is holding very, very strong, despite, you know, the market being so up and down since this whole Bitcoin ETF thing. It's holding very, very strong. It's like almost like a stable coin at the moment, and which I think is a really good sign. Really, really good sign. Even though we are still minting, you know, 800,000 a day, it's not impacting the price. We're getting a lot more buyers coming in now, so that's sort of balancing things out a little bit. So if you go on and have a look at the transactions, you can see there's some big buys kicking in, people buying tens of thousands of drip now. So, you know, it's changing. The tide is changing. So the 19th does just signify that changing of the tide, that new dawn. And I think people are getting excited about it, and I'm excited about it. You know, I've never been a moon boy, like, oh, this is going to make drip go a 10,000x. It's just a fact. I think it's going to be a very, very strong, slow grind up. And well, the thing is, in DeFi, things can happen very quickly. So I am very open to that happening as well. And I think the community is the best community in DeFi, hands down. There is no better community. I'll go out on my sword and say that there is no better community in DeFi or crypto than the drip community. And pretty much no other project would have survived what we've been through over especially the last 6 months. Like, I remember doing videos from Mexico, being out there those 4 months. I had a bit of extra time out there to do like regular walk and talks, and it was just like soy rage and just people paper handing their bags, getting wrapped up in all of this like FUD. And it does turn out so much of that was about bots. People would set bots and they were just selling and selling and selling. There was definitely, well look, I can't say definitely. There was very, very likely some underhand stuff going on from other devs that maybe didn't like Forex, or maybe didn't like DRIP, or maybe saw DRIP as too much of a competition. You could see the inverse charts, how DRIP was going this way and a other particular project was going this way. Now, look, there's no hard evidence, but I think a lot of people do know that there was some underhand stuff going on from some devs who had a big stake in DRIP, and they waited for the drop of the launch of DRIP.draw to do it as well. So it was all in the timing. You know, some things, a little bit too coincidental, shall we say. Let's just check the chat quickly. Where did I get up to? Because I do these streams all from my phone. So if I was doing it, you know, from a computer, I'd probably have Streamlab on. But I like to go guerrilla. I like to go raw on these streams and just have my phone, and I'll skip through the comments manually like that. So I've thank you, Tony. Much of it. So Nelly's talking to Tony. Yes, fail to plan to fail. Yeah, absolutely. Bashkin is in the house. Shout out for DRIP X, 60 more subs and white papers released. I did see that earlier, actually. The community over there is growing very quickly, and they look like they're going to bring some serious utility. I mean, I'm not in Titan X personally, but I did have a feeling that it was going to be sort of a Titan X type project for DRIP and the Binance Smart Chain, and it's looking like that's what it's going to be. It's going to be involving wrap DRIP, as we all now know, but we haven't seen the official white paper just yet. So as Bosch has just said, 60 more subs on their Telegram group, and they're going to release the white paper. So if anyone watching isn't in that Telegram group, it wouldn't hurt just to go over there, give them a follow, and it just means we'll get to hear about what's going on a little bit sooner. And exciting stuff. You know, we know it's, well, I think, is it official? It's the guys from Pulse Drip. I think it's kind of official. Correct me if I'm wrong. I had a feeling it was anyway, but I think it's out there. But they've done incredible things. Kitchen Sink is just like an absolute freaking monster. It's like almost 2 million drip burn now. It's just like TVL's going up and up and up. And the fact we haven't even kicked off a proper bull market yet, it's looking very, very strong. Like normally these things, if this was like heavy into a bull market right now, I'd be thinking, oh, I need to potentially get out of here, you know, with that sort of thing. But I don't think it's even started yet. So I'm still adding, personally, it's not financial advice, of course, as you all know by now, but I'm still adding to my position in there. I'm kind of confident that, you know, with the tokenomics in there and how it's all working, it makes it very, very hard for people just to like really go like Rambo and dump all of their stuff all at once. Very, very difficult because you have to claim compound 3 times to get 1 claim. So it makes it very, very hard to suddenly, you know, dump on people. I'm trying to build up my claims because obviously I'm not interested in claiming at these prices. So I'm trying to get a decent claim strategy going, and I'm going to go through a new strategy on Kitchen Sink, but I'm probably going to do a separate video about that. I haven't quite got to the bottom of exactly what I'm doing yet, so I'm going to give it a few more days, but that's a video for maybe later in the week. But they're doing incredible things, and the Pulse Drip Gardens are doing really well as well. I've got PLS tokens stacking up over there in the PLS garden, in the native garden, so that's doing really, really well. Same thing, exactly the same as Kitchen Sink. And I'm thinking of sticking a few BNB into the Kitchen Sink BNB side of things, which I haven't done yet. I know my brother Blue Chip Drip has got some BNB in there and it's doing really well. So I think that'd probably be a decent play for me at some point. So awesome. And then another bunch of guys that are under promising and over delivering. You know, they'll just stealth launch something on your ass, man. They'll like just come out of nowhere and say, right, this is what we're doing. Oh, it's actually done. Here it is. And everyone's like, oh man, I've got, you know, everyone's running to because news spreads very fast in the drip community, very, very quickly. Everyone is still tapped in. Even people that say they're not bullish on drip anymore, they are tapped in. You'll see them appear. There are going to be people to start doing, they're going to be like YouTubers and stuff that are going to start doing drip videos again soon after disappearing for some time. And look, I'm not saying it's not judgment, because I think the more eyes that are on drip, the better, and the more people that are behind drip, the better. But there probably will be people that have been slagging off drip for the last 6 months who come back and they're, oh, I can get some traction if I start talking about drip again. It's gonna happen. It is gonna happen. And look, fair play to everyone. Everyone runs their channel the way they want to run it, so no judgment, but that probably will happen, because drip will be the talk of the DeFi town again very, very soon. You know, it's still the biggest thing in DeFi. There is no bigger community, and there probably aren't any other projects where so many people are working to bring utility, and so many people are doing what they're doing, and so many people are, you know, tapped in these groups, because you have the drip overall community, then you have the sort of the subgroups. You know, ultimately we all have the same goal, and that is to send drip to new heights. And the more people that are playing for that team, the better. It's just obviously the more people that are, you know, all in on doing that, and not chatting too much rubbish behind closed doors. But you know, whatever. If drip does well, I'm happy, and I've got a feeling it's going to be an incredible 2024 for drip. I really do. I think it's going to absolutely crush DeFi. It's going to just dominate. What else we got going on in the chat? We've got AKA Covert, 5 more days till deflationary token. Yeah, 5 more days. You know, it's exciting stuff, and it's going to happen, and that deflation is going to kick in, and people are going to get caught off guard. I think at the moment it's all still, you know, oh, it's deflationary. Is it going? No, it is going to be deflationary, and it is going to happen. Mathematically speaking, it will happen. It may not happen on the 19th, but it will happen. And whether people like that or not, I think there are some people that are a bit salty out there right now. They're thinking they don't even want drip to have a second bite, a second chance, but it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, it's going to happen. So you're either with it or you're against it. I'm personally in it. I'm still accumulating weekly, as I always have done, and that's just the way it is. And if drip takes off suddenly, which I hope it does, then there'll be people buying back in at much, much higher levels, and it happens every single time. People love buying the tops and hate buying the bottoms. I mean, if you do the opposite of what 99% of people do in life in general, you'll probably do pretty well. Yeah, I would say most things in life, if you do the opposite of what 99% of people do, you'll probably do really well. And I think in investing, you need a strong stomach, especially crypto, because we're not talking about a 10% move over the course of 12 months, which you'll get maybe in some of the slower, more, you know, what you call legacy stuff. You can get 10% move in a year, and everyone's like, wow, 10% in. Like, crypto could be like 20% in a day. Even on the big, like large market cap coins, you can get 20%, 10%, 15% in a single trading day. So if you haven't got the stomach for it, go and open an ISA, you know, go to Santander or go to HSBC, open up a savings account, plonk your money in there, and you'll be guaranteed to lose 10% a year through inflation, and just be happy with that. But it's not for the faint-hearted, let's be honest. I know we joke about it, but it's really not. And some people have been really, really badly affected by the bear market, and it really comes down to how you want to look at things. I see red candles and I see opportunity, and it's how you alchemize things. Everyone can be an alchemist. It goes to every single thing in life. People look at failures as being a negative thing, when really, in reality, failures are your best mentors, your best teachers. No one will ever learn more than from when they actually fail at something themselves. So you can either look at it as a failure and get down about it, or you can look at it as a teacher. And you know, you pretty much every person who's ever succeeded really exceeded at something has had to fail multiple times. And they could have failed at the first hurdle and never come back, and it would have just been a real negative thing. But they used every single failure as a real opportunity to grow and learn. And really, more of that comes down to the fact is, are you doing it for the process? Do you love the process? Because if you love the process, you can't fail. You cannot fail if you love the process. If you do something that resonates with you and is special to you, and you find joy in it, and it makes you feel good, you simply cannot ever fail, because every time you try something, the process is fun. It's all fun. And it goes for everything pretty much in life. And you know, the whole crypto market thing, bear markets, you know, they can be quite stressful times for a lot of people. But if you are taking the opportunities when they're there, then they can be very fruitful times. In fact, that's where you get rich, is the bear market. That's where you get wealthy. You don't get wealthy in the bull, well, you cash in the bull market, but you build the foundations in the bear market. So, you know, there's still accumulation time, I think, for most projects we're seeing now in all the altcoins. If Bitcoin takes a little trip, then back in the accumulation zone. And that's kind of where I've been this week. I've been enjoying the red candles in some of the altcoins. And I did take some profits in Bitcoin at 47,000, when most people were thinking it's going to go to, you know, straight to 50 or straight to 60. I took some at 47,000 because, again, do the opposite of what most people are doing, and you'll probably do all right. Be the contrarian. So I'll be probably, you know, putting that back in. I want to reaccumulate Bitcoin at lower levels, and I do think we have the opportunity to go down to the, call me crazy if you will, many people have, but I think we could still see the high 20s before we go to all-time highs. I think we could still go to 28, 29,000 at 28 to 33. I still think we could see those levels at some point. You know, if something happens on the global scene, it would not be the first time that Bitcoin has kind of had a bull trap, come down before it shoots back up to all-time highs. So I'm keeping some powder on the side for that to happen. And I think when everyone thinks it's going to go moon, that for me is the time to take some profits and sit back with the popcorn and enjoy the show. So we shall see. Let's have a quick check on the chat. Yes, okay, Kova, at least not minting a milli a day or so far. It's a start. It certainly is. You know, if it's 100,000 less, if it's 200,000 less, 300,000 less, that's where we have to go. We have to go through all of those levels to get down to zero minted. So enjoy it. Enjoy the process. I certainly am. I'm loving being part of the DRIP community here on YouTube and on Twitter. And I'm just loving the process, making the videos, connecting with you guys, connecting with everyone in the Telegram chats. There's a lot of interesting people with a lot to offer, and we can all learn from each other. And it's just an absolute blessing. So no rush. It happens, and we're just seeing it happen now. It's fantastic. NFA show, haven't sold one drip in 2 years. NFA show, Nelly, he's locked and loaded. Not proud of that. You can look at that in multiple different ways. Yeah, I mean, like, if you had a crystal ball, you know, you'd look back and say, I should have sold some. But the fact of the matter is, you know, as we were saying earlier on, these are just learning opportunities. And look on the bright side, the bag is stacked, brother. The bag is stacked. So, you know, it could turn out to be a very good move. You know, without having a crystal ball, we don't know that just yet, or when or where, but absolutely, you know, we can't dwell on it. It's something, it happens, and we roll with it. AK Covert, do we have the same beard and haircut? That's awesome, man. It's a strong look. That's what I think. Strong look. I haven't really had much time to do too much sculpting lately. I've just been so freaking busy. I've got the full winter beard going on, and maybe I'll grow it a little bit longer, but I'll probably tidy up the ends at some point this week if I get a chance. NFA show, just say it, Millionz, call the elephant in the room. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You guys know exactly where I'm coming from. Again, you know, I won't say it. I won't say it. But I think we all know what's being said. AK Covert, kitchen sink is amazing. It really is. It really is. I'm just like so stoked that those guys have come forward. They didn't have to do any of this stuff, man. Those guys, I think, did really well in DRIP. They're early investors, I think, did very well. And they've obviously done PDRIP, which is still working. The price is down because PLS has obviously suffered a fair amount of FARD, and, you know, because of the whole SEC thing, the whole Richard Hart thing, it sort of went down a lot and people were selling, and I was buying. I was buying it down at 4 zeros and a 4. I went in as heavy as I could in those levels, and the bag's up, I think, 100%, or, you know, that was only in the last sort of month, because now Richard Hart's come out of hiding, and, or, well, not hiding, but he's come out and said he's going to fight the SEC, which absolutely, you know, I don't think many people in crypto have got a great deal of love for them. So wishing him and PLS all the best, because, you know, I have a staked interest in that, PLS holder. So that would be great. And it's been awesome to see a huge spike in the price there as well. And I think it's just a little glimmer of what could really kick off with PLS. It's a layer one, decentralized, it's real DeFi, all these things that I'm very much with. I don't like centralized stuff really in general. That's why I gravitated towards DeFi in the first place. I actually came to crypto from more of a cypherpunk sort of mentality in terms of like the privacy, you know, stuff like Monero, and you've got stuff like Dero, which is an incredible layer one, you know, incredible technology and stuff like that. Not many people know about that, you know, and it's basically it's Ethereum, but it's completely encrypted. It's totally, you can build on top of it like you could Ethereum, but it's much faster, much cheaper, and it's totally anonymous, like completely. It's like homomorphic encryption. So yeah, Dero is pretty cool, and that's where I came into crypto from, and I still invest in all the blue chip stuff as well, because I see the potential for, you know, mainstream adoption and stuff like that. But I love to see like real DeFi taking the stage, and you know, I hope Pulse Chain does well, and I hope it smacks away any kind of lawsuits that are coming at it, and I hope it wins, because, you know, if you're holding PLS, it could be party time if that happens. But again, you know, when everyone's talking about moon, I'll probably sell some at that point and buy back in on a, you know, on a dip, but we shall see. We've got head bust. It seriously definitely was an elephant in the room. yeah, quite possibly. We can't say for sure, but yeah. NFA show knows what's going on. See, Kenny, can you explain what kitchen sink is? I can have a go. So basically, it's not a miner. I know a lot of people say it's a miner, but I think that's a mistake. I don't think it is a miner. The kitchen sink is basically a DApp that was created by the guys at PDRIP. They are DRIP OGs, and they're very bullish on DRIP, and they bought us the kitchen sink. So basically, you deposit your DRIP into the kitchen sink, and you can compound daily at 1.5% per day, up to a 5x of what you put in, and I think you can claim out a maximum of 3x what you put in. If I'm incorrect there, drop it in the chat. But the beauty of it is that you have to compound 3 times before you can make a claim. So it does make it a lot more sustainable, and people are paid out through their taxes that they pay. So if you claim, you pay a 10% tax. If you compound, you pay a 5% tax. So if you think about it, you have to compound 3 times to do 1 claim. So that's you'd pay 15% in tax to do a 10% claim. So the TVL is consistently going up. The amount locked is, which is the TVL, of course, is going up. But what I meant is the amount locked is going up, but also the amount they're burning is going up, because what I didn't mention is it burns 10% of everything that you put in there. So it's actually helping to reduce the supply of DRIP overall. And 2 million doesn't sound a lot at the moment, but if you think where DRIP is going in terms of it's going to become a deflationary token with a initial capped supply and then it's down, DApps like that are going to have a massively magnified effect. So every time you put 100 in, 10 get burned. Every time you put 1,000 in, 100 get burned. And so if DRIP's price goes up even further, that sort of thing is going to get even more popular, because people are going to want that daily payout, and they're going to want to make 300% total back on their deposits. So just like the original DRIP was launched in a bull market, when the bull market comes this time round, I've got a feeling that kitchen sink is going to literally blow your knickers off, literally. So I think for me personally, having a position in there now so I can be building right now is the right thing to do. So I hope that helped answer that question. If you have any more questions, just ping them in there and I'll do my best to answer them. We've got Millionz. I started when it was about $69 but kept on DCAing to approximately 1 cent. Yeah, and you're not the only one, Millionz. I bought my first 3 drip at around $90. Then I bought another 5 or 6 at around $45. And after that, yeah, a few more at $7. And then I just went in super heavy below 10 cent. And obviously the further it dropped, the fact that I could look at the community and see such a strong community, I was happy to take that risk of continuing to buy in at 1 cent, just like yourself. And I was buying much bigger bags at sort of at 1 cent, because it was so easy to stick. $100 would get you a lot of drip at those prices. It still gets you quite a lot now at sort of 3.5 cent, whatever it is. But at 1 cent, it was a fire sale, absolute freaking fire sale. And I think like when the news hit in that drip was going to be no longer inflating into infinity like a lot of people were worried that it would do, once that proverbial band-aid was ripped off, people started to think, oh, wait a minute, like we are still in a bear market and this thing is about to go, onto a new path. So it's exciting times. It is very exciting times. And anyone buying at 1 cent is already up like 200%. So, all of those buys are in the green. So very, very cool stuff indeed. AK Covert, just going in on kind of backing up what I was saying there. Kitchen sink pays 1.5% a day up to 300% of what you deposit. Must compound 3 times to get 1 claim. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We've got Darren Claxon here. Evening all. I got into DRIP in September 2021. How's it going, Darren? I hope you're well, brother. I've been compounding in the kitchen sink since day 1 and I've crossed 50k. Awesome numbers, man. Awesome numbers. It was really cool seeing that. I put it on Twitter actually, the DRIP chart, which I think DRIP really needed, like where it had like the fish, the crab, the squid, the shark, the dolphin. I can't remember what order it was in the whale at the top, and it said kind of, you know, how many drip do you own and what, you know, what level are you? And I think I've seen a lot of stuff like that for like pulse chain, but I thought drip really needed something like that. So it was really cool to see that, and I had to share that on Twitter. But that's awesome, man. Awesome. So you're drip OG basically. That's freaking awesome stuff. We've got Vinny. BTR on pulse chain is about to break new all-time highs. Hope you guys are watching. Yeah, I mean, BTR, is that, if you can let me know what that is, I'm not 100% sure what that is. That's obviously a token on pulse chain. I'll be honest with you, on the pulse chain side of things, I'm really mainly into the native asset, PLS, and I also have some pulse drip. Like not loads of pulse drip, but I bought in pretty low, and I'm well up on that, you know, that side of things. And I've got a feeling that's going to probably perform really well in the bull market, because everyone is going to want the ROI dApps in the bull market. When there's a lot of capital everywhere, people are very comfortable to lock up, you know, profits and stuff like that in ROI dApps, and people get a lot more sort of confident on that side of things. So I think anything that's still standing when things really kick off, and I think pulse drip will be, and I'm certain the kitchen sink will be, all sides of the kitchen sink, BNB, drip, and even wrap drip now. They've just had I think a week or two ago, they put wrap drip on the kitchen sink, so you can also deposit that as well. So I've got a feeling all of that's going to be standing, and all of it's going to do really well. Not financial advice, just my humble opinion. Darren Claxton, are you in the pulse drip garden? Yes, I am, mate. I'm in PLS, the PLS garden in the pulse drip garden, and it's performing really well. And I love the fact that the price has gone up, because it just means my daily payouts are going up. But I'm not claiming right now. I'm building up my claims as high as possible, and that's going to be all part of my new strategy, which will be the same in the pulse drip garden as it will be on the kitchen sink, which I'm going to go into in a later video. But I'm trying to build up my claims as high as possible right now. But loving the pulse drip garden, and I'm still loving pulse drip, even though the price is down at sort of $8-9. That's roughly where I actually opened my Faucet at. But obviously, because I've been compounding every day, I'm already I've already 3x'd my I've already 3x'd my deposit. So obviously I'm up. So working out really well so far. It was crazy when the price went up to like $100 per pulse drip when they had the H2O launch. That was nuts. When I saw my pulse drip balance just like flying high. So I did take some profits. The only time I've actually claimed, when it was up at sort of $90-95. Really, really awesome though. I love what they're doing over there. They've kind of looked at the OG drip side of things, and they've made some adjustments, which I think, like, had Forex had a crystal ball and seen kind of what was going to happen in future with the way people would not really utilize the Faucet, there wasn't any punishment. I know I don't like the word punishment, you know, with this sort of thing, because you could say I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I believe that, you know, everyone's free to do what they want to do within reason, as long as you're not harming anyone else. But it's very difficult when you have a voluntary platform like a dApp. You need everyone to kind of play together, unless there are specific things in place that stop people from trying to pee on the parade, you know. And a lot of people peed on Drip's parade because the mechanics weren't in place to stop them from doing that. So you could literally just continue to make wallet after wallet after wallet, and I call them like parasite wallets, because they would never have stopped. They would have continuing multiplying like a parasite, continuing draining the system every single day without any real, you know, interest in keeping the system alive. They were more than happy to sort of kill the golden goose. And unless you put things in place that stop people from doing that, that's what you're going to see. And that's what Pulse Drip have done. And that's what the Pulse Drip Gardens, that's what the kitchen sink has done. It's gone that one step ahead and said, look, we've seen what people will do given the opportunity. Let's put a few things in place which will maybe stop them doing that. And having the free claims 3 compounds per claim is a very, very good idea in my opinion. So it seems to be working so far, even in a bear market. So great to see. What else do we have? We've got so many comments coming in. It's an absolute blessing to be spending Sunday with you guys. I really do appreciate you joining me on the stream. We've got D Machine. What's up, bud? Love the vids. Keep up the good work. That means a lot. It really does. Like, I love connecting with you guys on live streams. That's probably my favorite thing about this YouTube channel. And it's why I'm so pleased I started it back in June. I've not been doing it for very long. And I was originally on Twitter, and I was just on Twitter and just putting out my thoughts and feelings about drip and sharing, you know, making some memes and making some stuff and putting it on there just to sort of give something back to the community a little bit. And I kind of hit 1,000 followers really quickly on there. And I did put out a poll, do you think I should start a YouTube channel? And I had an overwhelming yes. And I didn't do it straight away because I wasn't sure like how much. I don't know how to do the channel. Like I didn't know kind of how I was going to run it, and I like to always have a bit of a plan. So the first few videos I did was just kind of faceless on my computer, just going through what was going on, you know, in the Faucet and stuff. And then I started going out for walks, and Mr. Wookums would join me, and I'd film Mr. Wookums and just sort of chat as I went. But when I went to Mexico, I didn't have Mr. Wookums with me, so I had to change the channel and put my ugly mug on the screen for the first time. And to be honest, like it's just been a load of fun. So when I hear people say that they're enjoying the videos, it really does mean a hell of a lot. And you know, I just yeah, I just love connecting with you guys. It's an absolute blast. I always have a great time. And also a huge shout out to the Crypto Collective as well, because when I started on YouTube, they sort of reached out and invited me into the collective and stuff like that. They've been absolute legends, and I've made some good friends in the collective, really good friends, awesome people. And I'm actually looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys in real life at some point. You know, when I'm over in America, when I'm over in these different places in the coming sort of year or two, it'd be awesome to have some proper catch-ups, depending on where I'm at. We've got Jeff Capital. Is drip garden still a thing? I still compound, but I don't know if it's relevant. Now, I'm pretty sure it's still relevant. It's not an area I've been focused on. There will probably be other people that can sort of guide you a bit better on the drip garden. I do have a position in the drip garden, but I'll be honest with you, like, I've been so busy, I actually forgot all about my garden position. So you've kind of just reminded me that I need to go in and have a look at that. But I'm presuming that with drip going deflationary, that could potentially still be a pretty cool play, and some small price movements in drip could, you know, could quite possibly sort of bring that into back into sort of the limelight again. But I can't give you a solid answer on that. So if anyone knows, you know, 100% what's happening on that side of things, leave it in the comments. I know one of you out there is going to have that information, but it's not an area I've ever done videos on. It's not something that I sort of focus on a great deal on the channel. So I'd like to hear a bit more about that. We've got Rick Crypto. Thanks for joining us on the screen, brother. Can you quickly, did I say scream or stream? I've had a long day. Thanks for joining us on the stream, in case I said scream. Although we're having a scream for sure. It's freaking awesome, it always is. Can you quickly recap the new drip process, meaning how does drip currently work going forward without any of the third-party dApps? So basically, if you took away all of the dApps, like pretended there was no dApps whatsoever and just had the drip token, drip would still be deflationary. So basically, after the 19th of January, the 100 days since the switch was flipped will be up, and that means that all of the drip that was going to be paid out to everyone's faucets will be paid. Now, it's up to you when you claim it. A lot of the wallets are already done and finished, and people have claimed that drip into their wallet to keep it, you know, or safe if they're more happy having it in their wallet, or they put it into third-party dApps. But people can still claim their drip from their available balance after the 19th of January. That's not a problem. But what the 19th of January signifies is that the last of that drip is going to be paid out. The last of the owed drip to everyone is paid out. So it's like hands off, everyone's got their drip now, and we are now going to start the process of that deflationary model. So if there were no third-party dApps to speed things up, DRIP would exist as a token that's now in with a limited supply now. So there's going to be like 220 million tokens, and it's not ever going to go any higher than that. At that point, every time you buy DRIP, sell DRIP, or move DRIP, there are going to be taxes involved. Those taxes will go to the tax manager, and 90% of those taxes will be burned, and 10% is going to be locked as liquidity. So it doesn't matter, even if there were no other dApps, DRIP would still decrease in supply over time because of the way the taxes will basically burn the DRIP. So it doesn't matter whether you're buying DRIP, selling DRIP, moving DRIP, you will be helping the ecosystem just by interacting with DRIP. So the more it's moving, the more people are buying, the more people are selling, the better it's going to be for the protocol. And if you consider that's without any third-party dApps. Now, if you consider putting the third-party dApps into the situation, now we get to really magnify the effect of everything. So you've got kitchen sink burning DRIP. You'll have DRIP X, shout out to them guys, burning DRIP. Wrap DRIP, every time you wrap and unwrap DRIP, burning more DRIP. You've got stuff like Drip Pot Luck. I've always got to give my brother Danny D a shout out. He's an absolute legend in the space, and I want to talk a little bit more about a couple of things that he's involved with in the stream. But he's got Drip Pot Luck, which he's going to be updating, I think, especially for this sort of upcoming bull market, where it burns DRIP on the back end. So you basically, you can gamble your BNB and you win BNB, but on the back end you burn DRIP. So there are people building stuff that are going to really speed up the process of this burning. So, you know, DRIP would decrease in supply without the third-party dApps, but you add them in and you've got a really, it's basically like sticking a NOS canister in there and speeding things the hell up. So that's kind of, I hope that answers the question as well as I can, Ricky, and Rick, sorry, and thank you for joining the stream, brother. It's great to see you here. Lillian Rose, how are you doing? Lovely to have you here. I hope you're having an absolutely blessed Sunday, wherever you're coming in from. I think you've told me before, but I forget. I forget where you're coming in from, but it's awesome to see you here. We've got Vinny, Sheesh, PRS, and BTR. All you have to do is hold. Reflections fly in your wallet, and they're deflationary. That's interesting, Vinny. I will check them out. I think I've heard of PRS, but not BTR. I'm not you know, I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm not an expert on the Pulse chain, for example. So, or I'm not an expert on the tokens on the Pulse chain. So I'll be happy to have a look into that and see what's what with that. Millionz, yes, I started with only 4. Now I'm holding on only around 40. 40k is a good number, brother. I mean, if you think about it, if DRIP does a 50x or 100x, which is more than possible. I'm not saying it will, but it's more than possible. We have seen much stranger things in DeFi. Then that 40k is going to look not so shabby. Let's put it that way. Trader T-Man, I have great confidence in the DRIP ecosystem. I hope my nipples don't get blown off, though. I'm kind of attached to them. Yeah, hopefully everyone's nipples will be okay. Nipples and knickers, I hope no one loses any of them, but it could certainly be a very exciting time for everyone in the DRIP ecosystem. And I just think, like, this stream, for example, is just testament to, like, just the freaking awesomeness of the community. And anything that's got a community like this is dangerous, really dangerous, because they will not let it die. And we've seen it, they've proven it. At 1 cent, no, not letting it die. Do buybacks, we'll do community initiatives, we'll just buy drip and we'll burn it ourselves. Like, we're not letting this shizzle die. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That is a very, very, it's the foundation of the project, the community. If everyone dumped all their Bitcoin on the market, Bitcoin's price will crash. It's every project, no matter how good the tokenomics are, no matter how good the DApp is, the security, all of that, if you have not got the backing of a community, if you have not got, you know, a solid foundation in the community behind you, good luck. Good luck with that, because I don't care who you are, where you're from, as some great scholars once said, you're not going to get anywhere. And Drip has got everything in bucket loads. We've got Vinny. Yes, it's a booster token that pays reflections on PLS X and supports PRS. Okay, cool. You're your own personal PLS Faucet. Interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a look, because you know, there may be a time where I take some profits on some on blue chips and sort of put a little bit into some stuff, you know, that I see as riskier. And DeFi is obviously always slightly riskier, but it has a much bigger upside potential, so I'll definitely check it out. Darren Claxon, I'm a Gala music artist and I'm earning daily music, which is great utility native asset. Okay, music. I've not actually heard of that. Gala music artist. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I've not even heard of that, so I'll give that a look. Dante's Investments. He's in the house. Dante, it's great to have you with us, brother. What else do we have? Darren Claxon has just asked a very good question. What happened to that Upton called crypto geezer? Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, like, he's a fellow Brit, and I found him quite funny. I'll be honest with you, I did find him quite funny. But I've not seen anything of him for some time now. For some time, I know Nelly had a lot of back and forth with him, a lot of banter, and I know maybe, I'm not sure if it started off a little bit beefy, but it certainly ended up more as banter, and he'd appear in some of the streams, and he'd appear, you know, pretty funny guy, very, very cool imagination. You know, I always give credit where it's due, and he has a pretty good imagination, and some of the storylines with like crypto kings and so forth were pretty funny, I've got to say. And yeah, I was involved in some of his videos as well. But you know, as long as you should always be able to laugh at stuff like that. And yeah, I've not heard from him. I've not heard. He used to comment on some of the videos and stuff and try and get my attention and stuff like that. But no, I've not heard from him for a long time. So I haven't checked his channel. So if anyone knows where Upton Court Crypto is, put it in the chat. Nelly, maybe Nelly knows, or maybe he's locked in Nelly's basement or something. Let us know, Nelly. We've got Vinny. Yes, seems like a nice channel. I'm new and subscribed. Means a lot, Vinny. Thank you, brother. We really do have a lot of fun on these Sunday live streams. We really do, and it's great to have you here and sort of adding to the chat and bringing some great vibes. So I do appreciate the sub, man. It really, really means a lot. Number 1R8, I have 127. I've lost, is that trillion? In the drip garden, hoping it does come back. Yeah, I mean, with drip, everything's possible, especially with us going deflationary. So yeah, we shall see with the drip garden. I need to do a bit more research into that side of things, so that might be the nudge that I need. And we've got Millionz. Yes, do appreciate your stream, and it keeps the drip dream alive. Don't think anyone else talks about drip, only Brandon, and you're keeping us informed. Millionz, it's always a pleasure. It really is on my part. I love doing the videos. I love the process, and I love the vibe in these live chats. And I'm definitely a contrarian when it comes to investing. And when I see a project like Drip with such a ravenous, passionate community, and to add to that the improved tokenomics, and to add to that all these devs coming in and building in a bear market, I see so much potential. I really do. And you know, who knows? No one knows what's going to happen with Bitcoin. No one knows what's going to happen with Ethereum, let alone the smaller market cap stuff. But you know, there's big potential. And I do appreciate, and you always join the streams, and it means a lot. And I appreciate the feedback, brother. I really do. You've got Jared Pearson, loving earning Pulse with Pulse Reflections. Cool. Yeah, I've heard a couple of YouTubers talking about PRS, and it's not something I've really looked into myself yet, but I think I might. My Pulse bag isn't as big as I want to have it just yet, so I think I'm going to probably sort of stack up a few more on that, especially if there's a pullback, and then I might take some profits from the PLS Garden and put it into some of the other tokens. So I'll do a little bit of research there. AKA Cova, any good news on Black Cube? Well, I've seen some Twitter updates that it's still moving, it's still happening from what I can see. So I haven't got any insider information on that. I've not heard anything from Forex Shark. I don't know anyone who has, but I'm seeing some Twitter updates. That's all I can say. I know a couple of people have done videos on it recently, but I haven't watched them. For me, it's like I'm just going to sit back and wait till it actually happens. I'm not going to get with anything Forex related. When it comes out, I'll look at it. You know, when I've got an actual release date, or when it's actually there, I'll look at it, because I'm not in the mood for sort of hanging around and speculating too much on stuff that isn't here yet. So if he comes out with this platform and it is as solid as it sounds, it could be a really cool place to park some blue chips from what I've heard. So we shall see. I'm sure he is doing the business, and I'm sure he is working behind the scenes. The guy is obviously extremely intelligent guy. He's quite a visionary. I don't think he wants to do anything average at all. So I'm interested to see. I've never been one to badmouth Forex. A lot of people have been very open about bad-mouthing him, but at the end of the day, none of us would be here in this community if it wasn't for him. So we have to show a little bit of, you could call it respect for that, because he did build the original platform, and you know, so what you like. I'm not a dev, so I can't criticize anything, but his projects are absolutely secure. They're watertight. No one's ever woken up and had their funds disappear overnight. They've lost money in price, but they haven't lost tokens from being hacked, or you know, nothing's rugged. So big respect for that. And if Black Cube comes out and has the delivers on the potential, then I'll be all for it. Absolutely 100%. We've got, yeah, Darren Claxton. He was hilarious. He was very funny. Upton Court Crypto, very funny guy. Yes, thank you for reminding me, aka Cover. Hit that like button in the chat, 100%. I haven't got enough likes yet, but I do it sometimes. I join a chat and whatever, and I get involved with it, and I'm listening, and I forget to hit the like button. So if you've got, you know, the like button spare, you've got a thumb spare, I'm not going to ask what you're doing with your other hand, but you know, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button and show me some love. And you know, as I always say, I will love you a long time if you do. So we've got just a few more to go through. I can't believe it's been an hour and 10 already. We've had an absolutely incredible turnout in this live stream. I really do appreciate everyone who's joined. It really means a hell of a lot. The turnout's been absolutely phenomenal. So thank you for sharing your Sunday with me. I just want to give a shout out to Danny D in StableSwap. Now, I know a lot of guys here in the DRIP community are also in StableSwap, so I don't probably need to tell a lot of you about what that actually is, but it is paying out stable coins every single day, and there's no sacrifice needed. You lock up your liquidity in there and you get it back at the end of the term. And it's been an absolutely freaking awesome protocol. Every single day I go, in there, whether, you know, I could forget for a few days and come back and it's paid. It just keeps on paying every single day. And I'm a huge fan of stable swaps. So Danny D, who's also a drip guy, who's also an OG dripper, has done incredible things for the community. And now he's come out with this absolutely phenomenal platform in stable swaps. So huge shout out to him for what he's doing there. And I've heard he's doing more with Drip Potluck coming very soon. So he's going to be updating those platforms. So that's awesome. One last check of the chat. We've got JJ showing some love. Thank you for tuning in, JJ. It means a lot. I hope you're doing well. And we've got Millionz, and we got another one from JJ. I'm just trying to see what those emojis are. Me, I don't know. Is that me on a computer? Someone on a computer? No, I don't know what that is, but the writing's too small. But we've got AK Covert. Yeah, Forex is quit. He must be working. I'm excited for the future. Yeah, 100%. When Forex goes quiet, you know, we can FUD, but one day he's going to come out and he's going to say it's ready, and that's when I'm going to really pay attention. I shared your video in the PRS TG, help support your channel. Vinny, that does mean a lot, brother. It really, really does. Thank you for sharing that. It's really awesome when people support your work and support your art and everything, and that really does mean a lot. So thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed, and has shared the video. It's an absolute blessing. It really is. John Timothy, I'm late, had to go to work. Good to see you. Good to see you, John Timothy. I hope you're doing well, mate. I hope you're having an absolutely blessed Sunday. I really do. And thank you for joining the chat. And obviously, if you're watching this late, if you're joining us late, head back to the beginning and watch from the beginning, and see what we've been chatting about. All sorts of stuff, drip, DeFi, crypto related. It's been a really, really good live stream. Number 1R8 Black stable swap is amazing. I don't talk about much other stuff on this channel as opposed to drip and sort of drip related stuff. But stable swap is something where I'll do a video for stable swap. I'll do a tutorial for stable swap. It's something that's very, very, for me, it's like I've never had the idea of building a portfolio with stable coins. Stable coins have always been something that sit in the wallet until you need them. Not something that's like, well, I could actually earn a secondary income from these stable coins. And that's not even exaggeration. Like if you play your cards right with stable swap, you could potentially retire with these stable coins. And there's risk in everything in crypto, stable coins included. They're not without risk, you know, but they are much, much lower risk than, you know, volatile cryptos. So it's been a real pleasure building a position over there and seeing those daily payouts, which I'm currently reinvesting. You can take them out if you want. Once they hit $50, you can take them out and do whatever you want with them. You know, pay the rent with them, or buy crypto with them, or take the missus out for a meal. You can do whatever you want with them. But I've got a certain target that I want to hit before I start, you know, taking too much out. And I know Danny. I've known Danny for about a year now, and he's kind of like heading the FTR movement, the F the rug movement. Completely doxed. They've got brick and mortar office. It's all from an OTC business, international exchange over in the Philippines. They've got banking licenses. They've got regulations. This stuff is not cheap to get. It's a very, very professional outfit, and everything I've seen so far, I've got confidence in. Of course, never financial advice. He would tell you the same thing, but I'm very, very excited about the future of stable swap, and there's a lot more coming for them as well. And there's a few things I'm not going to talk about right now because I've spoke to him in confidence, but I've heard about stuff that's coming in the future for stable swap, and we are just kind of at the beginning. So make of that what you will, but I know a few things, and I'm building my bag in stable swaps for sure. And the next sort of lump sum that I get coming in, I'm going to be putting it back in, because the beauty of it is, it doesn't matter when you join. It's not like, oh, I've got to get in this week, or else I'm going to get dumped on by, you know, by the whales. Not like that at all. You can join at any time and it really makes no difference whatsoever because it's a stable coin and it's non-volatile. So you can join today and it's no different. So there's no rush, there's no stress. There's no, we've got to go on there and think, oh no, what if the token's down in price today? No, it's a stable coin. I'm using USDT on the smart chain, Binance Smart Chain, because I hate Ethereum fees. So that's what I'm doing. I've done a few tutorials on my channel if you want to go back and watch them. But it's very, very simple. I always leave my link if anyone wants to join up under that, but it's not, don't have to, because you don't even need a referral link if you don't want, because it doesn't rely on referrals whatsoever. No Ponzonomics. Another reason why I like it. So I just wanted to give him a special shout out at the end of this. He's a DRIP OG. He's doing fantastic stuff for the DRIP community and the DeFi community. Had great fun doing a live stream with him, an AMA a couple of weeks ago with him. And I do plan on doing another one probably in February with Danny, just to catch up on a little bit of, hopefully he'll drop a bit more alpha like he did in my last AMA. So yeah, was real stoked about that. So huge shout out to him. And Trader T-Man, thanks for everything. Thank you, brother. It's always an absolute pleasure. And thank you for the amazing turnout on the stream tonight. Thank you for taking a little bit of your Sunday. Sunday is very special, and for bringing it here and being amongst the chat. It's been a blessing having you all here. AK Cova, I'll buy a hat. Do you have a promo code for us? We need to be able to buy it in DRIP. Yes, that's the next plan. In fact, there is a promo code on the website, 10% off at the moment, I've put on for everyone. If anyone wants any DRIP Millionz or just Millionz merch, there's a little bit, there's a few sort of items, some snapbacks and some caps and some t-shirts, hoodies, that sort of thing. If anyone's interested, I think I've linked a few on this video. But yeah, it's 10% off for everyone on the actual website. So it means a lot, brother, it really does. And just thank you to everyone. I've had an absolutely amazing time. I'm gonna get some text messages from the missus real soon if I don't head back in, because she's cooking a lasagna tonight. I don't want to miss that. I don't want cold lasagna. If I'm lucky, she'll do some garlic bread with it as well. She does a good lasagna, does the Mrs. Millionz. And hopefully Mini Millionz is sleeping so I can enjoy my lasagna. Mr. Wookums has been just chilling, but I'll try and get him out on another walk tonight as well, just to walk off said lasagna. So I've got a good evening ahead, maybe. Time for a film or something, a bit of chill out time. But big favourite part of my week is to spend some of it with you guys on a Sunday. So thank you to everyone who's joined. It really does mean the world to me, and I will see you all in the next video and or the next live stream. So have a blessed rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Peace out, everyone.